Just mean, I tell you, mean.
Well, if it's just concentrated around Halloween, then, you know.
Okay. So we good? Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, good morning, everybody. And we are here with Kaylin from Lake Hope Lodge. Mm-hmm. And we're so happy to have her here today. And I think we're having a Facebook issue, but we're going to go on the YouTube thing. And then we'll download to Facebook here in just a little bit. But welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, it's always so much fun to have you here. Mm-hmm. You are Sans Turtle today.
No turtle. Nice clean pants. I want to keep it that way.
She wants to keep it that way. If you don't remember, Kaylin brought the turtle in, who is a member of your team, who is used for educational purposes, and he peed 3 times.
3 times.
3 times on her leg while he was here. So, yeah, that was fun.
Fun for you.
It was fun for everyone in this room except for you.
I mean, it's part of the job, and I often tell people, you know, that are interested in being a naturalist, you can't be real queasy about getting pooped or peed on because you take care of animals, and that's just part of it.
True that.
So,
yes.
Yeah. It was a little inconvenient, a little bit embarrassing to do it on TV, but that's okay. That's all right.
It made for, hey, and I was telling you that you were Adrian's best of episode during the holidays. We did some best of episodes so we could take some time off for, between Christmas and New Year. And we each picked an episode, and you were Adrian's episode. Well, the turtle.
I get it.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm happy to oblige, Adrian.
Yeah, so you were best of at your expense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay.
I'm pretty proud of that, really.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, I'm proud.
You can go back and tell the turtle that that he's very famous here. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, okay, being a naturalist at Lake Hope is I am a bit envious of you because I feel like your job is hard, but it's also something that you're passionate about, and that going to work every day would just be lovely. But I'm sure that this ice has taken its toll on you. I mean, snow and ice is pretty, but woof, this has been a lot.
Yeah, as a naturalist at the state park, I work outside quite a lot.
Quite a bit.
And the snow has posed a little bit of a problem, but I think the bigger issue was the really, really cold temperatures that we've been having for so long. I think we've been, sub-freezing for like 3 weeks now straight. And the nature center that I work at, is a very porous building. It's breezy. Let's put it that way. A little drafty, and the core of the building, actually, the history of it is kind of interesting. So it used to be a shelter house in a totally different part of the park. If you're, yeah. Oh. Yes. So that's the bulk of the building, and so I have these beautiful large oak beams that kind of surround both ends of it, and it's really nice. But if you kind of bend down, you can look through the wall between the beams and the chinking, and you can see the outside. So it's pretty drafty. My poor heater has been nonstop.
Yeah.
But it's warm enough that the animals are fine. I have heat lamps on everybody. But yeah, I love snow. But as I said earlier, I'm ready for a transition. And yesterday, I don't know, it was like in the 60s.
It was
fabulous.
Yes, it was it was so game-changing yesterday. Mm-hmm. As you said, I was telling you, I walked outside my house, and I was like, is there a leak somewhere? Did something blow up, or, the outside spigot blow up or whatever? And I realized it was the gutters. Mm-hmm. And it was just whoosh. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, this is the best sound ever.
Yeah. It was a real mood booster yesterday.
Yeah, yes. Some sunshine, some warm. So yeah, it's a good thing. But what are the challenges that you face? I mean, you are caring for, as part of what you do, living things, plants, animals, all of that. I mean, I have to think that that's challenging.
I mean, thankfully, nature has its own little things in place that helps it get through the winter time. On our Facebook page, I've been doing Winter Wise on Wednesdays, where I'm answering some questions about things that happen in the winter. And one of our more popular posts was about the subnivean zone. And we don't, in Ohio, at least down here in southeast Ohio, we don't typically get enough snow to create that. So the subnivean zone is when you have at least like 6 to 8 inches, somewhere around in there. You start to get enough snow where small animals can burrow underneath, and they create these little icy tunnels, and they can stay out of the really cold elements that we've been having. And underneath that blanket of snow, it stays relatively warm. It's like right around 32 degrees, even though above the snow could be, 8 degrees, whatever it's been.
So they're building like their own little ice caves or ice castles.
Yeah, so the
interesting.
The slightly warmer air temperature from the earth, it kind of helps to keep everything a little bit warmer down there. And as they start to tunnel through things, their body temperature also sort of sublimates that warm air that's coming off their body, hits the ice or the snow on top of the tunnel, and it kind of creates a little ice tunnel, ice cave.
Yeah.
So that helps out a lot. I don't have to do anything there. They do their own thing. And the blanket of snow is also, again, a blanket keeping the plants warm. So my main job is just education about those things, whether it's, in the wintertime when we're having a bunch of snow, or the droughts we've had where, that's going to impact some of our plants and animals in the park as well. But thankfully, nature has ways of getting around those types of things pretty often.
You think about Mother Nature, and you think about, the human body in general is incredible. It'll blow your mind if you start thinking about it. But yeah, nature, it takes care of itself in a way, unless we mess around with it, which is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we are nature too, but yeah, sometimes the things that we do are not necessarily the best choices. So yeah, but it's been really interesting. I again like the snow. There's some fun things to do out in the snow. A lot of people have been taking advantage of our dam and sledding down the hill.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That sounds fun.
We've had occasionally some good packing snow, so occasionally you'll see snowmen pop up in the park somewhere.
Love that.
Lots of animal tracks can be seen right now, so that's really fun. You might not see the animals when you're at the park, but you can see all the tracks kind of moving around. So
it's interesting that you said that, because my husband and I have been paying attention at our house because we have some acreage, and we've noticed that you can tell the deer. I assume they're deer, but they use the same path. So we have all of this land that has, this beautiful blanket of untouched snow, and then you'll have 3 or 4 paths that they use all the time.
Yeah.
They just go back and forth in the same path, which we thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
That's pretty normal. You can usually pattern animals. A lot of people like to pattern deer, especially for hunting. So they typically have a small area that they like to bed down in the nighttime, and then they have their favorite foraging areas. So to get from point A to point B, you're going to use the same trails, and they're like us. They want the path of least resistance oftentimes. So once that's found, they keep doing that.
It is really interesting to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Normally we don't have this much snow to be able to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And when I do tracking programs, I talk about the storytelling aspect of figuring out what that animal is and where they came from, where they're going. So when you find tracks, you can learn a lot about that animal, and maybe you can figure out what animal it is, but that's not necessarily the end goal. It's just figuring out how that animal is kind of working through the landscape. It's really interesting. So,
and they're trying to survive too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when there's 6 inches or 8 inches of snow on the ground, it's not really easy for a deer to find something to eat, right? What do they do?
So if there's no nice vegetation, they can rip little pieces of bark and things off of trees. So there's stuff out there. They can also just hoof away some of that if they're really desperate.
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of animals that forage for, normally they would want leafy greens and softer vegetation. In the wintertime, it's kind of the outer bark and inner bark of things, what they can get to. So
yeah, that makes total sense. Mm-hmm. So what are the critters that are out running around right now versus the ones that hibernate in the winter? Because is it groundhogs hibernate?
Groundhogs do hibernate. Chipmunks are also true hibernators.
Okay.
And then you have black bear, which we don't have a lot of in Ohio, but a lot of people know that one to be a hibernator as well.
Yeah, hopefully you don't have one in your backyard. That's fine.
No.
If you do, just stay clear.
Yeah, yep. So because it's almost Valentine's Day, a lot of animals, as we get more and more sunlight, longer days, longer periods of days, that's starting to wake them up. It's not necessarily temperature related. It's more about the hours of daylight.
Yes.
We as humans have probably noticed that. When I wake up at 6:30, it's a little bit lighter each day. So yeah, some of our hibernators are starting to stir a little bit. I've seen chipmunks out already. And of course our groundhog gets pulled out of his slumber.
Poor guy. I'm so tired. Why are you waking me up?
Yeah. Some other animals are a little bit more opportunistic. So if it's super duper cold, they're not going to be out. Your skunks or possums. Sometimes the squirrels will do that. And like I said, it's Valentine's Day, so we're starting to get into the season of love. And so
I get where you're going with that.
Around this time, we start to smell a lot more skunks. We start to see a little bit more activity with maybe some of our coyotes or a fox.
Because they're like, hey, baby.
They're looking to find a mate. So we're kind of thankfully towards the end of that dormancy period.
Gotcha.
Soon, everything will be budding and blooming and babies, and it's going to be springtime.
All the stuff.
Before we know it.
It will be. And I was talking with somebody about that the other day. I was like, everybody's complaining, and then the next thing you know, it's going to be March, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel, I feel like, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So...
yeah, that's one of my favorite things about Ohio, really, is that we get all the seasons. We get the changes.
Wouldn't it be so sad if you didn't experience it?
I would feel a little bored.
So, and I agree with you on that, and maybe it's just the way we grew up, but I think about the people, now maybe if you have the luxury to go live in Florida in the winter and come back or, whatever, I guess that's cool, but living somewhere where you don't look forward to the fall and look forward to the spring and the pumpkin spice, cheesy pumpkin spice and all of that stuff, like the winter flavors. And I don't know, it's just fun. Mm-hmm. I mean, you get sick of it. Let's not.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not lie about that.
Yeah,
but
and that's why you like the change that much more.
Yes. It just gives you something to look forward to 4 times a year, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, and as a naturalist, I'm sure that you see, what Mother Nature is doing during the different seasons also. Mm-hmm. So do the plants, I assume they you did the whole leaf thing one day. You brought in the different leaves and things like that. So the plants they're just taking a break right now, or are they ramping up too?
So, well, with yesterday's temperatures, some things are starting to wake up. You're going to start to see some sap flowing. This time of year is we're at like the very beginning of maple syrup season. So people are going to start to tap their maple trees in anticipation for that flow to be happening, and you can collect some of that as it does. So when we get up into like the mid to 40s, I think is when that really starts ramping up.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff is happening.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, things are happening. So, yeah, it's exciting. I was thinking in my head while you were talking about the changing of the seasons. The seasons on the calendar are like 3 months, but when I'm creating my program schedule, it's like I do every 3 months worth of programming, but it really shifts every month and a half or 2 months.
Okay.
It's totally different. So by the end of February, here in a couple weeks, I'll be doing wetland programs.
Okay.
Because stuff is starting to wake up and move around, and we're talking about mating season. The salamanders are going to start to emerge here very soon. So it's a totally different ball game between the beginning of February and the end of February.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And how fun that you get to be right in the middle of it and see it all happen.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun for
cool.
me. It's more fun for me to be able to facilitate some of those programs for you guys, because some of that that you don't realize is going on, and it's just one of my favorite things to see somebody, especially adults.
Yeah,
go,
because you get to be a kid again.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite thing. That is like the icing on the cake for my job, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, these things, and how fun is it to get to share your knowledge and with, like you said, adults who become kids again. Mm-hmm. Like, how fun is that?
Yeah.
When you brought the turtle in, I got to hold a turtle. I don't know that I've ever held a turtle before. Maybe I have. I don't know. Yeah. But it was fun. Mm-hmm. It's like, now I can say I held a turtle, and it didn't pee on me.
Must have liked you better.
She says she's bringing the snake. I don't know about that.
I will. I won't tell you when I'm going to do it then. Be surprised.
You just don't want me to call in sick that day, right? You will hold the snake.
Yes. Well, I mean, you can at least touch it.
What kind of snake is it?
So I have a rat snake, a gray or black rat snake. They've gone through a little bit of a common name change fairly recently. But he's big. He's non-venomous. He's super chill. Rat snakes are very chill, docile creatures, even wild ones. And so he's, because of his size, and he's like 6 foot long.
You're not winning me over here, sister. No, it's fine.
He looks very menacing to a lot of people, but he's such a gentle giant, and he's been able to let people work through their fears.
That's good.
And so that's why I love working with him, is because he is a big snake, but he's totally cool. He's totally cool. I had him at a middle school last week.
So is he like the Matthew McConaughey of snakes?
Yeah, definitely the Matthew McConaughey of snakes.
I like that.
I like that too. All right. Yes. Yeah, he's a good guy. So
very cool. And and you were saying that you get to go to different schools, and what do you do at the schools? Do you take the critters with you, or you?
Oftentimes, my coworkers are requested. Yeah, they don't want to see me. They want to see the turtle. They want to see the snake. But when I'm at the schools, I do lots of different things, really. I've brought in the animals and talked about what's happening during that season, whether it's hibernation like we mentioned, or they're they're getting ready for the winter time, camouflage and colors.
Okay.
I've read books to some elementary schools and then talked about what was in the book, going on in nature. Last week was career day, so I talked about my job as a naturalist. When I was in elementary school, even in college, I had no idea what a naturalist was. And so that was kind of fun to educate the middle schoolers about that. They had some pretty good questions about my job.
Listen, kids come up with... So I went to the middle school, might have been a year or two ago. They asked me to come for like a career day thing and talked about... Sounds strange, but talked about the brewery industry and... all of that, and they asked the best questions. Mm-hmm. One of my friends is a teacher, and her class was in the thing, and she said, one of the kids came back and said, I want to open a brewery when I grow up. And I was like, yes, I did my job then. It was so cute.
Yes.
But they ask the most amazing questions.
Oh, yeah.
Just crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the fun things that the kids have asked you?
Some of it is kind of peripheral to my job, but like, what is the most dangerous animal you've held? What's the most famous person you've met? Can you do XYZ on a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard?
Those are all valid questions.
Yes. Can I be a volunteer? Can I come help you? That's a lot of that.
Can they do that?
Well, they can. So there's a couple policy things we have in place. If they are a minor, they have to have a guardian or a parent with them.
Okay.
If you're an adult that just wants to volunteer at the park, we would be happy to have you. There's all sorts of different things you could do to help us out at the park. That's basically depending on if you want to help me with my programs in Nature Center. You just fill out some forms. If you want to do your own thing, there's a little bit of a background check, of course, if you're going to be representing the park on your own, doing cleanups, for example, on your own. But yeah, it's a really simple process, and we're always so happy to have people that care about the park enough that they want to volunteer their time with us.
I could see that.
The stewardship aspect is something that I always aspire to when I'm doing those educational programs. I want you to care enough that you come back or you tell your friends and family and you bring everybody back to either, do the cleanups or help me in the park or do some project with our maintenance staff. That's what we're always hoping.
Absolutely, and quite a gorgeous park it is. If you haven't spent any time at Lake Hope, you're really missing out. And what is it, about a 45-minute? How long does it take to get there from here?
Oh, from here, maybe about 40 minutes
40
or
minutes?
so. Yeah.
So it's
not that long.
It's absolutely so much fun. Well, let's talk about, and then I want to talk about some of the things that people could look forward to maybe doing in the summer, like the kayaking and all of that. But you have some programs like coming up soon that sound really fun. Yeah. Even though it's been cold and snowy and icy, you're still doing your programming.
I am programming all year long.
That's awesome.
So let's start with what's happening for the whole entire weekend. We're going to be helping out the National Audubon Society, and there is a backyard bird count that we are going to be facilitating at the Nature Center. So I have a beautiful bird feeding area, big, giant, picturesque windows that you can just hang out in the sunshine like a cat, curl up and watch the birds. And for that particular backyard bird count, what they're looking for is the number of each species that you see. So we're going to be recording, for this 10 or 15 minute period, we saw 12 goldfinch, we saw 13 mourning doves, we saw 2 blue jays, and then I upload that all into the Audubon system.
Okay.
And they're able to track patterns of populations of species.
That makes sense.
So a little bit of citizen science happening on Friday. I'll be open from 10 to 2. We're going to be doing that program that whole 4 hours. So pop in when you want to. Spend 10 or 15 minutes watching the birds. And then
That is, how soothing and relaxing is that?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. And then Saturday, that continues. So we'll be doing that also 10 to 2 the whole time we're open at the Nature Center as well. So if you can't make it on Friday, try coming on Saturday. If you can't make it either of those days, you can do it at your work. You can do it at your home. You can do it while you're just walking in the park. There's options to do stationary bird watching or bird watching on the move, like if you're walking on a trail. You can do it on your own time, so you can check that out. Just do a web search for the backyard bird count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, super easy.
It's been so fun, and I know that they're a relatively new thing, but I feel like when Christmas happened, all of these people on Facebook started getting these bird feeders with the cameras on them.
Yes. Those are fun.
Hilarious. I mean, just so funny. And what a great idea.
Yeah.
And I just feel as if it's just something that just brings peace and happiness and joy to people.
For sure. Speaking of joy and happiness, our other event that's happening this Saturday, Valentine's Day, if you're not sure, Saturday is Valentine's Day.
I've been preaching. Guys, listen to what we're telling you right now.
So, in the spirit of loving ourselves and loving each other, we're also going to move that to the plant world. So, we're going to be loving on some of our trees. It is our 4th annual tree hugging competition at the Nature Center.
Okay.
4th annual.
That sounds fun.
It's super fun. So it is probably what you're conjuring in your mind and then some. So I talk about, mental health and nature go hand in hand.
Sure.
When we're spending time watching the birds, when we're spending time walking through the forest, sitting by our draining gutter and listening to the water rush, that makes us feel really good. It's called biophilia. We are connected to nature. We want pets in our house. We want house plants. We want to garden. We want to spend time close to nature. And that helps us to regulate our bodies physiologically and our mental health. So, there's all sorts of studies out there that talk about lowering stress hormones and increasing happy hormones and what it does for our bodies. And
even like the grounding where they talk about walking barefoot and I love to just go out and sit in the front yard barefoot and just stare. It's great.
Feels good.
It does.
Feels really good. You're connected.
Just stare. Pet the dog.
I mean, whatever makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So I got this idea from listening to a bit on the radio about an international tree hugging competition in Finland.
No.
Yeah, it's the real deal. It's the real deal. I think they just did their 5th annual last August. They do it in August because northern Finland is a little harsh this time of year.
I would say.
And I thought, oh my gosh, that aligns with some of the stuff that I'm trying to do here at the park. At the time, it was during COVID, 2020, and people were just feeling different. They were feeling some kind of way. A lot of people stuck inside. Thankfully, we live in the country. We don't have much of that problem, but I wanted to be able to kind of tap into that need. And I thought, trees are my jam.
Yeah.
What a fun, wacky thing to do at the park. I'm doing it.
Brilliant.
So, tree hugging competition was born at Lake Hope.
Love it. Love it.
Every year is fantastic. It is also President's Day weekend, so a lot of people are in the park already. They're looking for stuff to do, and this is something fun that kids and adults can do.
Okay.
We have both kid and adult competitions. And the way that I break it up is we have 4 events. So the first event, when you get there, you're going to do biggest hug. We have a tree that everybody hugs, and we measure the distance of your fingers or overlap of fingers, and it's a numerical value that determines the winner
So
of that.
if you have some long arms, you're a shoo-in.
If you have a big wingspan, come on down. You're going to win biggest hug.
Love it.
Our next competition, our next event is speed hugging. This is right from Finland's competition.
Okay.
You must try to hug as many trees as you can for 5 seconds each. You got to give them a real hug, right? 5 seconds each for a minute. So you can only hug I think 12 up to 12 trees. But then we do heats oftentimes because there's so many people. And then, we slowly whittle it down to the person that is hugging the most trees.
Love it.
For 5 seconds. And by the way, do you know the optimal hug time?
No. So like humans or
trees.
Trees?
Yeah.
Dogs?
Yeah,
Do they fall into the category?
To get the maximum benefit out of a hug, whoever you're hugging, whatever you're hugging.
So is this for the huggee or the hugger?
It could be both.
Okay.
I'd say both.
Okay.
Unless somebody really doesn't like hugging. But you have those. It's about 29 seconds.
That's a long hug.
Nice long, just to really settle into that hug. So,
29 seconds.
Yeah, you can just, next time you hug somebody or something, especially a tree, you want to just count nice and slow and get that real benefit there.
Do you think the trees appreciate the hugs?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Same as talking to your plants and telling them how beautiful they are and stuff. I don't see why they're living creatures. Why do they not like that?
And especially, they're coming out of that dormancy period. They're waking up. They're getting all these nice warm hugs. I mean, nothing better.
Right.
Nothing better. So that leads us to our
29 seconds. Remember that, folks.
29 seconds. I think humans, it's probably closer to like 10 or 12 seconds.
I was going to say, I'm thinking if you just walk up to a random person and hug them for 29 seconds, they're going to think you're real weird.
Yeah, maybe not right off the
Unless
bat.
it's like your spouse or your child or something.
See how long they can last without you telling them. That's a good challenge.
I'll do that tonight when I get home.
So the switching gears here, or moving forward, the next event, talking about holding on and hugging for a long time, is most dedicated. This is by far the most physical one, in my opinion, because it is the traditional tree hugging. So you go full on arms, full on legs. You have to hold on to your tree of choice.
Way up, like up in the air?
Like under your own body strength. You can't be standing on it. It's like full on bear hug for as long as you can.
That would be so hard.
Yeah. I tried it last year and I made it like a minute and a half, and I was real proud of that minute and a half. But we have had, I think our champion was like over 6 minutes.
Stop.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that for 10 seconds, I don't think.
Yeah, you find out real quick if you can or can't.
Yeah, right?
So that's our most dedicated event.
I love that.
And that's a really fun one just to watch everybody, because again, we do heats and everybody picks their own like favorite tree, and there's some thought that goes into that.
Well, you have to find the tree that fits your body, right?
Right.
Like your body shape or style. Yeah.
Exactly. And so then, we go 3, 2, 1, everybody starts hugging their tree. We're counting down, and you can just look across little hillside, and there's everybody hugging their trees.
Oh, I love that so much.
I love it. And so then our last event, our final event, is the one that is the most wacky. You kind of can do almost whatever you want within reason. This is our freestyle event. And there's a lot more subjectivity to this one. It's all about communing with a tree appropriately. It's all about developing emotion. And so you'll see people read poems or sing. I had one kiddo dancing with a tree last year or 2 years ago, I think. At the international level, there's been proposals. People will dress up. So there was one person that dressed up like a bear and was kind of like scratching their back on the tree. We had another woman that dressed up because it's Valentine's Day. She had a whole bunch of Valentine's Day garb on. So freestyle, you can kind of interpret that however you want, but you're communing with whatever tree you choose for up to a minute. It doesn't have to be very long, but how are you developing that relationship with that tree?
Okay.
So
I love that.
Yeah. We had a whole gaggle of ladies that did tree pose around a tree. So yoga. Somebody did Reiki on a tree. That was interesting.
That's interesting.
I mean, you could get really creative with the freestyle event. So it's a lot of fun. I have a whole group of excellent volunteers that a lot of them have been with me for every single year. Raccoon Creek Partnership, shout out to them. They are always willing to help out. And one of our managers from Mineral Resource Management, he's one of our judges. So, hi, Cabe. And, we'll have some of our volunteers, too, from the park.
Sure. Fun.
Yeah.
And that's this Saturday?
So, yeah, that's this Saturday. We start at 10 a.m., and we usually wrap up within a couple hours, depending on the crowd. We try and kind of roll through everybody, and we'll pick the winners for each event, adult and child, and you will get little wooden medallions. So
very cool. Mm-hmm. And how do you participate? Do you just show up, or do you have to sign up ahead of time?
Yeah, so there's no pre-registration. You can just show up that morning. We'll give you a number so we can keep track of everybody and be able to keep scores.
Okay.
And so we'll give you a little name tag sticker with your number on it.
Fair enough.
And then you're ready to compete.
And the great thing is all the programs that you do are free, right?
Yes, they're free. They're free.
So do you have anything, so the tree event this coming Saturday, bring your sweetheart. Mm-hmm. And you can hug them and the tree all at the same time.
Yeah.
Group hug.
Group hug.
Love it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you can participate in that. So do you have anything that you can kind of promo while you're here? Like maybe any events that you have coming up that you'd like for people to start thinking about?
Mm-hmm. I have a full moon hike next Tuesday night at 6:30. So that's always a fun one. Kind of, toward the middle of the week, not necessarily weekends. And it's supposed to be, I think, still pretty nice out next week.
Okay. And do you do that even if it snows or rains or whatever?
Yep, that's rain or shine.
Okay.
I did cancel once this winter because of the temperature. It was like sub-zero, so
yeah,
you didn't want to be outside. And then I have so many things happening. We're just going to be diving right into spring here pretty soon. So if you're interested to know more about either the tree hugging competition or the great backyard bird count that's happening this weekend as well, or any of the other upcoming programs, you can get on our website, odnr.gov, and look up Lake Hope State Park.
There you go.
Or we're on Facebook too, and I have all of our programs pinned at the top, my whole schedule, including nature center hours too, because that's open 3 days a week. So if you're tired of being in your house and snowed in, you can always come and hang out with me there with the animals.
And with the critters. How fun is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that. So come see Kaylin. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Well, is there anything else you want to tell our viewers while you're here?
Gosh, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the park. So come on out.
That's right.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, you have to come back soon because you have so many events coming up that we can chat about. And I can't wait until we can talk about the things that are coming out in the spring. Mm-hmm. And you can tell our viewers about that, what to look for maybe, and some things like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, very good. Get to Lake Hope this coming weekend and enjoy. Mm-hmm. She's so sweet. Who wouldn't want to? And she has a peeing turtle. Well, I'll tell you what, our good friend Pete Wilson just walked in the door, and I know he has some news to cover, so we will let Kaylin get back to work. And we do have a few messages, and then we'll be back in just a moment.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more, in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
All right, and we are back with our good friend Pete Wilson and some news that I see that you have brought in.
Right, exactly. One of the things that I want to tell you about, especially since we had the fall, I'll start off with this in case we might save a life or something. Adrian over there, I think one of the pictures you have is of frozen Lake Alma. Could you pop that up there? There it is. Now that was taken last week. It probably has fallen since we had the big day yesterday where we reached nearly 60 degrees. But there have been people that have gone out on the lake.
Oh gosh!
See Facebook posts and like that, and a lot of the lakes and creeks are either frozen or partially frozen. But it is never all right to just check that out unless you get some sort of okay from people who know, ODNR or whatever. And I don't think you'll get that.
No.
If this is just kind of like a public safety thing, I know there's snow there on Lake Alma there. At least there was there when we took that picture. But that doesn't mean it's safe. It's safe.
Terrifying.
Safe to be out there.
Think about.
And then obviously the problem, even if you swim, there's something called hypothermia.
Yes.
That can kill you in a fairly short time.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
And you can get stuck under the ice.
Right.
Fall through. You don't know how to get back up.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Well, anyway, one of the things that we want to tell you, and this is interesting, we teased it yesterday, is at the Monday night meeting of Jackson City Council. Pretty eventful meeting, but probably the top story was kind of like a preview, a look at what the new Jackson City Hall is going to look at.
Oh, okay.
We have a picture there to show you there of what the new City Hall could look like. Now, this is I need to say the word preliminary. This isn't
Sure.
necessarily what it's going to look like, but it's preliminary, and they've done a lot of work on this. And at the city council meeting, they passed out this sketch, this rendering of what it could look like. The architect was there, and Mayor Evans addressed it too. And council didn't have any problem with what was there. So we're going to be running this picture in Saturday's paper along with some other information. And if the public wants to weigh in, you need to do that because, they have been working. They knew the new building was coming. Of course, they had to wait till they demolished the existing memorial building, which has been done. There's a big hole in the ground there at 145 Broadway now. But they would like to move on to, construction and, doing all the bidding and like that as soon as possible. So the new building there, if it does turn out to look like it does there, it looks like a nice red brick building. It's going to be called, as of right now, the City Hall. But there is going to be kind of like a tie with the old building, the memorial building. Put that back up if you would, Adrian. And you can see this in the picture if you look closely. You see the memorial building wording across the
Yes.
top column there. That's notable for two reasons. First of all, of course, the old building was called the memorial building, and it's in limestone. Now, the limestone columns, some of the limestone that was extracted from the memorial building will be used in the new building. And might presume that that is what you see there in front, those columns
Sure.
there in front that are lighter than the red brick. And then, of course, across the top where you have a memorial building carved into the stone. So, if that indeed does happen, that will be a very solid link with the past. Now, as far as how the building will go, it'll be a little bit bigger than first lot, 5,000 square feet. It will be in the footprint of the old memorial building. It won't be an auditorium this time. But on the first floor, tentatively, will be the code enforcement office, the utility offices, and the city council chambers. So the utility offices will be moving from the building where the police department is. The code enforcement, I think, has a little corner in the old memorial building. They'll have he will have his own office there. And then, of course, the utility or the council chambers will be moving from also the police department building just across Walnut Street to the new building. Top floor, mayor's office, auditor's office, service director's office up there. Of course, there will be an elevator as well. There'll be one entrance for the public only where everybody will go in. And one of the other things that they released was a floor plan.
Okay.
The floor plan is tentative, but I think it's probably going to stick as well because a lot of thought was given on how they wanted things organized. Adrian, do we have a picture there of the folks who were holding the sketch? I wanted to show this because these are some of the principals that have worked hard getting ready for the construction of the new memorial building, planning what it's going to look like and designing it and so forth. From the left, you have Mayor Randy Evans, you have Service Director Dave Swackhammer, then you have State Representative Jason Stevens, and then you have, for the city, the Executive Assistant, and she works with a lot of the projects, highly thought of, Tracy Plants. And the reason that Jason Stevens is there, as the state legislator for the 93rd District, he was primarily responsible for getting $2.5 million in state funding to help make this project possible. The city did have some money put aside. They can put some money into it. They were able to minimize the cost by getting some help from the Jackson County Economic Development Partnership on the front end for the demolition and the cleanup of that site. But Jason Stevens was there. The mayor wanted him there to give him credit for his role in providing, a good portion of the money needed for the new building. So this will be unfolding here. It'll be kind of quiet here for several months as we get through the winter. But behind the scenes, they're finalizing design and engineering and things like that have to be done. The timetable, they hope, this is tentative too, but the architect, Jim Thomas, he was in the picture there. He says that it will probably be a deal where they hope to bid it out in April.
Okay.
Maybe construction in early summer will
Okay.
start, if they don't have any trouble getting through the contract and they can come up with the approval there. And then hope to get it under roof by winter, the next winter. And then, because that is very important because then you can
Sure.
do interior work and you don't have to be halted because you can't work outside. when could the building be ready? They're looking at maybe April 2027 for that. So that would be a little bit more than a year, and that would be a lot happening in that period.
Yep.
So we'll be following up on that. We
Exciting.
urge you to check out Saturday's paper for some of the details that I gave you and some photos as well. And once again, they've been very transparent about their plans. They do want public input. There's not a lot of people that normally go to the council meetings unless they have a reason to do it. They do live stream the council meetings, and then they post it on the website and on the Facebook, on YouTube. But it's a situation where really, if you're interested in it, you need to check that out. You need to check out what we're going to put in the paper, and so later on, if you had a different idea, you won't say that you weren't asked, because they do want to know what
Sure.
the public thinks. Okay, we had a very exciting, positive time at Jackson High School last night. The Jackson Ironmen basketball team, who's having a great season, they defeated a very good Meigs Marauder team, 59-42 last night.
Okay.
And they are now 16-3 as they go towards the final of the regular season. 3 games left. Had a great crowd last night, and one of the reasons the crowd was big was because a lot of people who are familiar with Jackson athletics, and particularly the basketball program, know that Bodie Wolford, who is a senior player for the Ironmen, there is Bodie right there with the basketball, and that's Coach Max Morrow standing beside him. The reason he's holding that basketball is he reached and then surpassed the 1,000 points career scoring mark. 1,000 points in a career.
Awesome.
Exactly. And how significant is that? Well, he is only the 7th player in the long history of Jackson High School boys basketball to reach 1,000 points. He ended up scoring 16 points to lead the team. And this thing about the Jackson Ironmen this year, Bodie is a good scorer and a good all-around player, but they have great team play.
Sure.
They often have balanced scoring. Bodie isn't always the leading scorer. They share the ball very well. They're a very fun team to watch, and they have really caught on with the fandom here because they're, Coach Max Morrow and the team are having a great season. And, of course, after 3 more regular season games, the last 2 will be next week, have one on Friday. They're all on the road. Then the next week, the tournament will begin. So we'll certainly be following that. Bodie becomes the 2nd Jackson County High School player to reach 1,000 points. I mentioned this on an earlier edition of Main Street TV, but Wes Briggs, who is a junior, he even has another year to go over at Wellston High School.
Okay.
He has reached the 1,000 point mark, and Wellston boys basketball is having one of its best seasons in many years, and they are just a half game behind Meigs in the TVC Ohio championship race.
Awesome.
And so they have a chance to get maybe a share or the whole title. A couple games left for them to play as well.
Can you name the other Jackson players that have scored 1,000 points? Puts Pete Wilson on the...
I can't name them all, but I can tell you that Ed Spriggs is at the top of the list.
Okay.
He was an All-American who played in the early 60s for Coach Dave Fisher when Jackson had a succession of championships in the old SEOL. I think he scored 1,863 points to lead everybody. But there's been others as well in there. And I've seen some of them play. I've been around long enough to see that. But the seasons are longer now, so that helps. You play more games, but you have to be consistent and score a lot of points.
That's not an easy feat.
You got to be able to avoid major injuries, of course. And so it is a great testament to sustained excellence, for sure, when you reach that. The all-time leading scorer in Jackson basketball history is actually a young lady, and that is Beth Howe.
Oh, okay.
Who went over 2,000 points in her career. Amazing.
Doesn't surprise me, but...
But you pretty much have to start as a freshman, and that doesn't happen a whole lot because, the older kids are more experienced and usually stronger and all like that. But Bodie and actually some of his teammates have played together since they were freshmen.
Sure.
This Jackson High School team starts 5 seniors, and a lot of them played a lot even when they were freshmen.
Yep.
And, they learned the ropes, and now they're one of the best teams in southeastern Ohio.
Awesome.
Okay. Also, at the Monday night council meeting, we wanted to let you know this, especially, if you have business downtown, you work downtown, you're traveling through downtown. There was a little bit of a break there the last 2 weeks when, the winter weather hit us hard. But the Geiger Brothers crews are working again downtown. A lot of work being done on Main Street. It's been blocked off some or partially blocked off, but Mayor Evans said that they're going to try really hard to minimize traffic being closed down. They're going to keep the sidewalks open, which is important for the businesses.
Yes.
And they're going to try to minimize blocking parking spots. I know that has been an issue with some of the downtown businesses. They know that this is going to be a great thing when all the water lines are in, when the beautification work is done. It's not going to be until past the summer probably before all this is done. We'll warn you out front. But the city and Geiger Brothers, who is the major contractor, are very aware that this is very important to the downtown businesses. So they're going to try to communicate very well with them and minimize the time that it's hard for customers to get to those businesses, especially the ones that count on foot traffic. The food service is right at the top of the list there.
Absolutely.
Also, Mayor Evans said this, and I'm so glad he did. We take it for granted, when it's going on, and then especially when all this snow is gone or melts. But there's city workers that have to work very hard on snow removal.
Oh, yes.
No, they get paid for it, but they're working long hours.
Oh, my gosh.
In really rough conditions, and you're talking about a 10-inch snowfall. But Mayor Evans took the time to salute all the city workers who worked on that. He said pretty much from Saturday night through Monday morning, somebody was always working, and that's around the clock. And there was other people in other departments that normally don't work on the street and snow removal who also worked in this category to get it done. And of course, the managers had to do a lot too, and so he wanted to give them a public salute. And
they were working hard.
All right, a couple other things that we want to tell you about here before we run out of time. That are time sensitive. Dog tag sales are going on in Jackson County and Vinton County. They're supposed to usually end at the end of January. They often extend it because of the weather and because they want people to get the dog tags and not have to pay a penalty, which by law can be charged if you're caught not getting a dog tag or a kennel license. But the deadline is this Friday. You can purchase 2026 dog tags in Jackson County and in Vinton County through this Friday.
Okay.
At the regular price. Then it will go up.
You can even buy them online. That's what I do.
Right.
And they just mail them to your house.
You can buy them online, and there's
super easy.
And you can do it. In the auditor's office. You can do it out at the dog shelter in Jackson County. There's several other places you can do it as well. Not just in Jackson, but outside of Jackson
absolutely.
as well. We'll maybe go over those tomorrow or on Friday. Also tomorrow, Hug Your Heart Day will take place at the Parks Edge Event Center. This is something that the old YMCA used to do in partnership with Hoser Health System. Hoser Health System was a major partner. Now it's pretty much all Hoser Health System that is doing it. This year's Hug Your Heart event will take place tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Parks Edge Event Center at 601 East Main Street in Jackson. They always do this in conjunction with American Heart Month, but what it is, it's just kind of like a day to support senior citizens and let them have, their time. They get a free lunch. There's health screenings going on. There's information that is relevant and relative to senior citizens, programs, and information
it's a great event.
That's helpful to them. And, the free health screenings, you can't beat that.
Right.
And also, there's a lot of door prizes, too. It's just kind of a big party. Everybody is invited if you're a senior citizen in Jackson County. It's not the Senior Citizens Program that's doing it, but it's for senior citizens. A lot of local sponsors step up to support that. So that is tomorrow.
Very good. Love that. So many fun events coming up. And do not, once again, Pete Wilson, do not forget that Saturday is Valentine's Day.
Saturday is Valentine's Day.
That is trying to protect you all.
That is correct. That is correct.
Very good. Well, Pete, thank you for stopping by. And of course, thank you to Kaylin for stopping by. It's always fun to talk with her about all of the great things going on at Lake Hope Lodge. And so she's always doing something. All right. Well, we will be back tomorrow. And who's our guest tomorrow? Recovery Connections. Okay, very good. Well, we'll talk with them tomorrow. Look forward to it. and get out there. There is a little black ice out. I know, like our parking lot out there, it looks wet, but there's a little bit of black ice. So just watch while you're walking too, just to be safe. So.
Right, there's a lot of standing water out there, and then even though it's milder out during the day, at night it's going to freeze.
It freezes
a little bit. You think you're home and you're not. You still got to be careful.
Yeah, be very, very careful. This is how you get hurt. So we will see you right back here in the morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.